everyone, my name is Stacy and today is a very special episode of Dogcraft. I am going to be doing a Q&A. I reached out on Twitter and a lot of you guys sent me some fantastic questions about this series, about my life, about my gaming channel, and what I've done here is I've sped this video up just a little bit, and I'm going to be doing lots of things related to my house on Dogcraft. There's been lots of things I've been neglecting, food and organization and all of that stuff, so I'm just going to be really getting things in order in this episode so you can watch all that going on in the background, but really I'm going to answer a lot of your questions, so let's get right to them. The first one was asked by Twitter user GrazerPuff, and they asked me one word to describe each wolf of my wolf pack. That's a good question. I would say one word to describe Wink would be goof. Everest, I would say loyal. I feel like I can always count on Everest to be there. Noah, kind of similar, I would say reliable. And Addison, I would say smart. Basil, I would say fast, obviously. And Tucker, I would say sweet. Okay, next question. GrazerPuff again asked, how do you feel knowing that Dogcraft is the most successful series on your channel? I feel amazing. I never thought that this series would grow to having that kind of an audience, and I never thought that my channel would get as large as it has got. So I feel amazing, and if anything, it makes me feel a little nervous every time I go to record Dogcraft, thinking how many people are going to watch it. But I feel most of all very lucky. Stacy and me, will there ever be guest stars on Dogcraft? I never say never, but I don't think there ever will be guest stars on Dogcraft, only because it's a single player, and I don't really want to go through the steps of moving my world onto a server, including all of the mods. And I feel like I've done so much on my channel already that is with someone. If you think of like the adventure maps I've done, like Mesa Valley or Diversity, or like Bookcraft now has guests all the time. Cake Quest has guests. I have another series coming up that's with someone. And Mind Clash is with Grazer. So I feel like Dogcraft is going to stay a single player. Motivator Freak asks, what is my favorite dog breed? I think my favorite dog breed is mixed dog breeds. I think my favorite dog breed is a mutt, because I have had 4 dogs in my life. 5, I guess, if you count my dad's dog, Polly, who technically I rescued from a kill shelter, but I gave her to him mistakenly, and now I can't get her back. But they've all been mutts, every single one of them. I mean, my first dog was technically, I think, maybe an American Eskimo, but I'm pretty sure she had some other stuff going on too, so I think my favorite dog breed is a mutt. Joe D. Stone asks, any new modded series coming soon? Yes, coming very soon. I think possibly coming next Monday. I have a new modded series. I'm really excited. I basically made a mod pack of a bunch of mods that I just never would add to Dogcraft, really. And it's awesome. I'm really proud of the mod pack. It's a collab series with someone else who I've never collabed with on my channel before ever. So I'm really excited about that. XS Sammy X asks, are you planning on coming to the East Coast soon? I think I am coming to the East Coast soon. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go and visit my dad and stepmom in Virginia, I think in June. And I'm hoping that I can make it back out to one of the places that I visited that I loved, which was Assateague, Maryland. I'm hoping I can go back out there and camp on the beach and then possibly kidnap Polly or dognap Polly and bring her home with me. Parkbomb10 asks, what do you miss most from LA? Okay, so the things that I miss the most from LA, I recently moved from Los Angeles back to where I grew up, which is in just in the Salt Lake City area of Utah. I miss Disneyland. I didn't realize how close and how often I went to Disneyland when I lived in LA. I went there literally all the time. So I miss Disneyland. And I also miss, this is gonna sound really strange, but I miss the plants. California has a lot of these really awesome plants called succulents that are, you just see them everywhere. And whenever I walked Paige and Molly, I would just always love walking by all of the different like cacti and succulents. There's always something blooming in California. And I wouldn't say that I miss the weather because sometimes it got really hot and I didn't like it, but I definitely miss just kind of the nature of California. And I also miss my favorite pizza place. There was a pizza place called Z Pizza, which makes really good organic gluten-free pizza. If you don't know, I have celiac disease, which means that I can't process gluten or foods with gluten very well, which basically means wheat. And I love their pizza. Even their pizza with gluten didn't bother me all that much. And I also got my grape soda, my favorite grape soda called Boylan's grape soda. From there, and that was kind of like my weekend tradition, and I miss it. I would get a cheese pizza with pineapple on it and a grape soda. Wyatt Hall 1 asks, do you miss your friends in LA? Have you made any new friends in Utah yet? Oh yeah, my friends in LA. Haha. Yes, I do. However, I really was at the point right before I left LA where I was spending so much time in my house just playing Minecraft and video games that I wasn't actually going out with friends that often anyway. So I kind of feel like I will probably see them as often as I was going to see them when I lived there, just by flying back for conventions like VidCon. I'm going back for my friend Andy's wedding at the end of May, so I probably will see everyone the same amount than when I lived there. But yeah, I miss them a little. And as for making friends in Utah, I don't know if I've really made that many friends here yet. It's been a pretty hectic time moving. But I do have lots of cousins. I have one cousin here that I'm really close with. I have a stepsister here, and I'm closer to my mom, and I'm also closer to my grandfather. I'm about 5 minutes away from him. He's battling Alzheimer's, and he lives in a assisted living facility. So I get to go have dinner with him and a bunch of other 80-year-olds and check up on him, which has been really, really nice. And yeah, and I'm also really close in proximity now to another YouTuber named Bear Ghost Games and his family. So that's kind of cool. I guess they're like my Utah buds. Miss Mitch 361, do you have anything planned for 500,000 subscribers? I do, and I'm hoping that I am lucky enough to reach that, because I do have something really fun planned for 500,000 subscribers that I think would be cool to do. Melissa13_A asks, why are you so passionate about dogs? That's a really great question. I've loved dogs my whole life, but I think the experience that made me love dogs the most happened when I was about 8 years old, and I got my tonsils taken out. And for some reason, during the surgery, I swallowed a lot of blood. And afterwards, I got really, really sick, and I had to be readmitted to the hospital. Now, when I was a kid, I was actually very, very thin. And so when I got really sick and I wasn't eating, I wasn't really drinking a lot, and I was in the hospital for, I think like around maybe 5 or 6 days, I started losing a lot of weight, and I didn't have any weight to lose. And so I just kept getting sicker and sicker and more weak and frail. And the doctor would come in and yell at me and say, you've got to eat. And I just felt really kind of almost depressed. They would bring in video games or movies for you to play, and I just didn't really feel like doing anything. And then one day they brought in a bunch of dogs. and you had to get up out of bed and go down the hallway to go meet the dogs. And I remember that for me was motivation enough to like eat a little bit of food, kind of get a little clean, put on a new shirt, get out of bed with like my little walker and go down to like pet these, I think they were golden retrievers that came to the hospital to visit. And I just always remembered that and just like really loving, you know, the unconditional love and just sort of like affection that you get from a dog. And I think that kind of started my passion for just dogs in general, and I just love dogs. _Rachel_2002_ asks, what career do you have or want to have? And the career that I want to have is definitely the career that I have now. I feel so lucky. I went to college and I studied journalism, and I spent a lot of time working on websites. Not to bore you, but I worked as a website editor for a very long time. I studied what's called search engine optimization, and I also worked a lot with video production, and surprisingly, I interviewed a lot of celebrities in the past. I've interviewed everyone from Selena Gomez to Demi Lovato to Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Emma Watson, Kristen Stewart, Emma Stone I made a video with. I did a lot of cool things. In fact, I worked with the Jonas Brothers for a while, and that was really fun, but it was also really stressful. And the job that I have now is actually the job that I love the most, because not only do I have sort of freedom in terms of my own schedule and I'm my own boss, but I also am able to support myself financially, and most importantly, I get to feel like every day I'm making other people happy and that I'm doing something, I'm putting some positivity out into the world, whereas before, I just reported about Justin Bieber. Dylan Bowden asks, what is your ideal snack to have whilst playing Dogcraft? Excellent use of whilst, Dylan. And I would say that my ideal snack would be a glass of milk, obviously. If you are asking about like sweets, I do enjoy, it's really odd, but I enjoy the Coca-Cola, and they're not Coca-Cola, but the cola gummies. I don't know why, but I really like cola gummies, which is weird because I hate most sodas except for grape soda. I hate Coke, I hate Dr. Pepper, I hate Pepsi, but I love the cola gummies. And I also really like this Chex Mix called Muddy Buddies. So I would say those are my favorite snacks, but just a glass of milk is fine. _ThatGirlOnline asks, grape soda or milk? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say it depends on what I'm eating at the time. I really don't drink soda very often. I used to only drink Sprite, and that was when I would either be at a restaurant or a movie. I never had soda in my house. And then I realized, well, I don't really like this soda very much, so I stopped drinking it, but then I found this grape soda that I absolutely loved. So I'll drink that grape soda occasionally, like if I'm having pizza, or if I'm eating popcorn with a movie, or Netflix. But other than that, it's milk all day long, and I need to start drinking more water and herbal tea, but I just love milk too much. The next question is, how many pets have you had in your life? Which is such a good question, and I have to think about it. I know that I have had, okay, I'll start with my dogs. I've had a dog named Coke, a dog named Daisy, and then my current dogs, Paige and Molly. Then I know I've also had a rabbit for a while named Petey Boy. I had a gerbil named Star, and I also had 3 turtles. I had a turtle named Tilly, You used to just find these box turtles on the side of the road when I grew up in Virginia, and I'd bring them home, and I'd kind of like... Tilly was missing a leg, which is why I took her home, and I gave her like a proper home for a while, but then I think I set her free at a pond. And then I had 2 turtles named Max and Melissa, and I kept them for a while, and then I let them loose in my backyard one afternoon to play, and then I went inside for something, and they like ran away, which is so ironic because turtles are slow, but I searched for them and they ran away. So I think that's all the pets that I've had in my life. Pretty sure, yeah. OMG Carter asks, if you could have any dog in the world, what kind would it be? Okay, well, if I could have any dog in the world, I would have Paige and Molly and Polly because I love them. But if I was thinking of getting another dog, I would seriously want a Dalmatian, except that I don't think that I'm the best home for a Dalmatian. Like, Dalmatians are really rambunctious, and they need, like, I don't know, I don't go running. I don't know if I would be the best Dalmatian owner. Maybe if I could find, like, a small Dalmatian. But really, I think that I would get either an Australian Shepherd, but I would want to get one that hadn't had its tail chopped off. They chop their tails off when they're young. I don't know. It's like some part of the breed. But actually, there's an actress who I've actually met before named Amanda Seyfried. She was in a movie called Mamma Mia, and she has the most beautiful Australian Shepherd named Finn, who has a tail, and Finn is awesome. I would want an Australian Shepherd like Finn. I actually, when I met her, showed her a picture of Paige and Molly, and she thought that Paige was really cute because Paige kind of looks like she's got that wispy hair, sort of like that. Anyway, okay, so I think I would either get an Australian Shepherd, or there's another dog that is called a Dutch waterfowl dog. I believe the actual name for it is something like Cooker. I'm gonna mess it up. Dutch waterfowl dog. Looks awesome. That's the kind of dog. It's kind of like a mix between Molly and Paige. The next question is, are you ever going to get the last type of dog? And I'm pretty sure that this is referring to the Bernese Mountain Dog in Dogcraft. And here's the thing. 1, the Bernese Mountain Dog in the mod that I am currently running is glitched and it does not show up. So no. But 2, I may have a trick up my sleeve in the future that would be adding quite a few other dog breeds to Dogcraft. And so the Bernese Mountain Dog would spawn, and he also would not be the last type of dog. So stay tuned for that. Hey, I'm Kelly D asks, what other mods do you think you'll add to the series? Well, I just kind of gave away a big clue that I might be updating a mod that would add lots of dogs. I just added Mo Creatures, however, I'm a little on the fence about it. I like the fish and the birds, and I've heard that there's a fox, but I do not like some of the other mobs, like the scorpions, as much. So I don't know, I might take that one out of the rotation. I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely not really planning on adding that many other mods. I think possibly there might be one more that I want to add, but I'm not sure if it's compatible yet. So we will see about that. But I definitely have a lot more in store for this series. So just you wait. The Cube SMPers asks, are you still in touch with the Cube members other than Grazer? I am still in touch with quite a few of them. I would say that the Cube members that I talk to the most regularly, and not regularly, but, you know, somewhat often, would be H-Bomb, Parker, and Grape. Stacy's dog Paige asks, are you going to be doing something special in Dogcraft this summer like you did for Christmas? I am. Well, I've got a trick up my sleeve. I've seen it requested quite a bit in the comments. And so I definitely have kind of like a theme of episodes that I want to do in the summertime that I'm excited about. 2121_Michelle asks, if you could travel to 5 places you've never been, where would you go? This is such a great question, and I have been so lucky in my life to have traveled quite a bit. I travel a lot around the US, and I've even traveled a little bit around Europe. But if I had to choose 5 places I've never been, ooh, that's gonna be tough. I know one city that I've always wanted to go to is Stockholm, Sweden. I've also wanted to go to Positano, Italy, which is on the Amalfi Coast. Let me think. I absolutely love national parks, and I've been to many of them, but there's a lot that I have missed in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States, particularly Northern California, Oregon, Washington, even Alaska. That's definitely, it's not one place, but I would love to travel more, specifically I think in Northern California. I'd love to do that soon. And then I'd also love to go to Iceland, and I guess Reykjavik, and let's see, one more place. I'm gonna say the Taj Mahal in India. Hey Sophia Burry asks, any new videos coming for your vlogging channel? Yes, so if you didn't know, I have a vlogging channel, and I actually have over 100,000 subscribers on it, and I rarely post to it. And I think that that's going to change soon. What I do have for it that I have yet to post is kind of a catch-up vlog, not about ketchup, but about catching up on all of the vlogs I didn't post in the last year. I have footage from VidCon and the holidays and New Year's and lots of stuff that I never posted. So I kind of want to just jumble it all together in a big vlog and post it. And then I also have a vlog from when I went to Disney World with Disney and Maker Studios. And then I also have another vlog, or not a vlog, but I have a tag. I was tagged by the Epic Reads YouTube channel to talk about some of my favorite books, and I still plan on doing that. I think what's going to happen in the future is I think instead of always doing 2 gaming videos a day, which is quite tiring, I think in the future I might scale that back, still do 1 video a day, but possibly not be as strict about the second video. Sometimes there will be a second video, sometimes there won't, and that will free me up to start vlogging more and not being so tired all the time, because unfortunately what's happened now is by doing 2 videos a day, sometimes I'm staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning trying to get them all done and not sleeping very well, and I just don't have enough energy to vlog. Alex the Main Man asks, what are your favorite dog food and treat brands? I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to feeding my dogs. I definitely don't think that you need to splurge for the most expensive food. I just do. My dogs, I really like the brands Origin and From. And I also feed them a brand called Primal, which is like this freeze-dried food that I crumble on top of their dry dog food. In terms of dog treats, I really like the Origin Puffs. I like Wet Noses biscuits. I also really like these treats called chicken chips from Primal. I don't like them, but Paige and Molly really like them. They're kind of like a jerky, like a round jerky. And then I also feed my dog a lot of natural foods. You have to be really careful and know exactly what you're feeding your dog and if they can eat them. For instance, you cannot feed your dogs chocolate or grapes or pistachios. That is very bad. However, my dogs, especially Paige, they like a lot of foods that you wouldn't normally think dogs would like, such as bananas, blueberries. They like, Paige likes asparagus a lot. Pretty much anytime I make dinner for myself, like I might make asparagus, rice, and salmon, I will put a tiny little portion of that on top of their dry food as well, and they really love it. but I only feed them food that they could technically find in the wild themselves. I don't give them anything that is made for humans that is like processed. I'm just talking about fruits, vegetables, and grains. And I don't really ever feed them grains except rice. Court Grisefa asks, do you and Joey still talk a bunch? We don't talk as much as we used to when we played Minecraft together all the time, but I did actually talk to him for a long time the other day. We had like a catch-up phone call because we hadn't talked in so long. He's doing so many other amazing things right now. He's a busy boy, but I do think I'm going to be staying with him when I go out to LA in a couple months, so that should be good. I miss my Joey. Court Grisefa also asks, what inspired you to do such different series like Shelter 1 and 2? So when I started playing games other than Minecraft, I really wanted to look for interesting games that appealed to me and not just play what everyone else was playing. I probably could have played, Five Nights at Freddy's or what's that one where you're like on a Happy Wheels? And a lot of people would have watched it and maybe thought it was great, but for me, those aren't the kind of games that I would want to play in my spare time. And essentially, the second video of the day kind of was all of my spare time. So I wanted to play games that I liked. So I really looked for interesting games like Typewriter or Try or Shelter 1. Or Never Alone. I really spend a lot of time researching the games that are coming out. I knew about some of those games, 6 or 7 months before they came out, and I marked it on the calendar, and I had to wait and wait and wait. So I don't know. I'm just really drawn to games that have beautiful art styles and are usually about animals or nature or surviving. Those games like The Long Dark, they really appeal to me. Cam Crew BF asks, will we get to see Polly again soon? So, like I said, Polly is a dog that I rescued that actually became my dad's dog. This was after I got Paige, but before I got Molly. So, you might think like, oh, Polly is a combination of Paige and Molly, but actually, Polly came before Molly. And when I realized that my dad was not going to give me Polly back, he was keeping her because she's so awesome. Then I went out and got a lookalike Polly, which is like Molly. And you can see Polly on some of the vlogs that I posted in December on my vlogging channel. And I do think that you will see her again pretty soon. If everything works out, I think she'll be coming to stay with me for a while, hopefully a long while, but more often I think I'll be dog sitting Polly a lot. Miss Fangirl16 asks, will you ever do horror games on your channel? No, and the reason is not because I think that I have a family-friendly channel or I have to not post scary games. The reason is because I don't like them. And I don't just post games because I want to get lots of money. Like I said, if I did that, I would play Five Nights at Freddy's all the time because a lot of people watch those kind of videos. But I just don't like horror games. They scare me and it's not my idea of fun getting scared. And so I just don't think I'll ever play horror games on this channel, no. Next question is, do you miss the cube? I really miss living in the mesa. I loved my house and the mesa on the cube, and I do miss that. The map actually for the cube was available for download. It was made available a couple of weeks ago, and I'll actually put a link in the description to a video where you can go and download the cube and actually go to my house in the mesa. I left a little note for people there. And I miss that, but actually in Bookcraft, I live right by a mesa, and it looked a lot different than a mesa when I started, but we actually just recently tweaked the texture pack, and now it looks a lot like a mesa again, so I'm happy that I'm back living in a Minecraft mesa. The next question is, would you ever use the build team for Dogcraft? And that is referring to the Wallshared's build team on Bookcraft that helps me build all of the amazing things from the books that I'm reading. Would I ever use them on Dogcraft? No, just because that would technically be a guest, which I already answered that I'm not going to put this on a server. But also, I don't want to not build at all. You know, I'm quite proud of everything that I've built in Dogcraft. And actually, I really got into building on the cube when I made my cat cafe and my stables. I was really proud of those buildings, and so I want to continue building at my own pace, and so that's what I'm going to do here in this world. And I don't want anyone else building it for me. Sammy Michael Egg asks, where are you planning on traveling in the UK? So I am going to be in the UK twice in the next couple of months. I am going at the beginning of April for Insomnia 54, and that is in Coventry. So I'll be flying into London, but then traveling up to Coventry. And then in July, I am going to be going to Minecon, which will be in London again, but I probably won't travel anywhere else in the UK. I studied abroad in London when I was in college, and I traveled all over the UK when I was there. I loved, I went up into like the, what are they called? Like the, what am I thinking of? Am I thinking of the Cotswolds? I'm not sure. I went into the countryside and I hiked a lot and it's beautiful. And that's actually a dream vacation of mine, is to go back to just the countryside in England and like work on a farm. But for these trips, I probably can't take that much time away from my channel. So it'll probably just be London and Coventry. Motivator Freak again asks, why don't you play with the default texture pack? And I am playing with the default texture pack in Dogcraft. The only difference is that I use shaders to give natural sunlight, but this is the default texture pack. Maddie2325 asks, are you ever going to bring back Try? That is the game I had with a fox and you solve puzzles. I didn't finish it, but I'm not that far away from finishing it, so I do think that it will be back in the future and I'll finish it up. The next question is, if you were given the opportunity to have Dogcraft as a cartoon show, would you do it? Yes, I think that that would actually be incredible. I would love for that to happen. I would love for Dogcraft to have like its own cartoon or a series of books about like maybe the wolf pack. I mean, that's like my wildest dream. So yes, I would do it. But if it's only on Minecraft on YouTube, then that's okay with me too. Blue Katarina asks, why did you name Wink Wink? Actually, a viewer named Wink. So that's why. The next question is, how did I meet Lizzie, aka LD Shadow Lady? And I met Lizzie through my friend Megan, who goes by Strawberry17. And I actually hired Lizzie to make some Minecraft YouTube videos, and I'll put a link for the playlist in the description. And in order to know what I was talking about when I was talking to Lizzie, I asked Joey to show me how Minecraft works, and that's how I started playing Minecraft for the first time. So Lizzie made the videos, and then she came out to VidCon in 2013, and I met her then, and that's that. And she's awesome. The next question is, are you planning to continue to play Minecraft on Xbox after finishing Noob Quest? So Noob Quest is my series where I'm trying to get all of the achievements on the Xbox One edition of Minecraft. And yes, I do want to continue playing Xbox afterwards. The whole reason that I started Noob Quest is because I really, and this is like a little bit of a announcement, I really want to bring survival games back. And the way that I want to do it is I want to play it on Xbox, and you play in teams of, well, not teams, but you play with 7 other people. And so I want to find some of you who play on Xbox and play with you guys. It got a little crazy playing on servers, so I don't go on servers anymore. But hosting games on Xbox I can definitely do, and there are some amazing survival games maps on Xbox that I'm dying to play. The only problem is that I'm horrible at playing on the Xbox, so I knew that I needed to really practice, so that's why I created the series Noob Quest, so that I could hopefully spend a lot of time with the controllers and get to the point that I would be good enough to play survival games. I'll probably still die every time, but at least I won't be throwing my sword everywhere. I'll just throw my sword in Noob Quest. Next question is, would you ever get a cat? Again, I never want to say never, but I probably would not get a cat when I have Paige, because Paige does not like cats. Molly actually gets along great with cats, but Paige hates cats. So I wouldn't get a cat then, and then if I didn't have Paige, which would be very, very sad, I probably would get another dog. I can't see myself having cats unless I lived in maybe like a rural area and a cat just wandered up to me and stayed at my house, then maybe I would have a cat, but I would never just say, I'm gonna go get a cat. I would just get another dog. Sassy Fruitcake, which is an awesome Twitter handle, says, what's a food that you like but other people hate? Peas. I love peas, and for some reason everyone I meet hates peas, and I just don't understand because I love peas. Grand Jaden asks, how do you eat a cookie? And I'm assuming they're thinking that I dunk it in milk, but the real answer is I don't eat cookies because, again, I can't eat gluten, and cookies are actually, chocolate chip cookies are actually the food that made me discover that I had celiac disease, because I got so violently ill after I had eaten a chocolate chip cookie, and that was the only thing I had had in a while, and so I knew that it had to be the cookie. So I told my doctor that, and they tested me for celiac disease. There are a lot of good gluten-free cookies. I just never liked cookies much to begin with, probably because I always got sick when I ate them, and I just didn't know why. But yeah, I just am not a huge cookie fan. Username Dylan O'Brien asked me, would you ever consider doing an animated funny moment from a Minecraft series like Cupquake has done? I have seen those videos on Cupquake's channel, and I think that they are so amazing. And I hope that she does one from Diversity, because I would love to see myself animated. I have never thought about doing them on my channel. I would love to do them. I also have a couple ideas for Minecraft music videos. I just don't know anyone that does animation like the cartoon or like a Minecraft animation. So, I mean, if you know someone, feel free to send them my way. And the last question is, who is your favorite Disney princess? And that is so hard. I am a fan of the golden age of Disney, which started with The Little Mermaid in 1989, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, and Pocahontas. That's kind of considered the Disney Renaissance under Eisner and Katzenberg. Just went really Disney nerdy on you guys. So I would say that Belle is one of my favorite Disney princesses. I loved that she loved to read and that she was so adventurous, although towards the end of the movie it just seemed like she was excited that she got to marry a prince and live in a big mansion, but she did have that big library. And then I also love Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, because, and my Once Upon a Mesa poster, link in the description, is actually somewhat inspired by one of the scenes when Briar Rose is walking through the forest and singing to all the birds, and like the rabbits and the owls and the squirrels, but I'm more calling to like bats and foxes and dogs and badgers. Anyway, so that is going to be all of the questions for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please leave a comment below and tell me what you thought about this kind of a format. It's not something that I would consider doing often on Dogcraft. However, I do want to do another mining trip, as I do owe Madeline quite a bit more gold, and I feel like I don't have the best tools and enchantments that I could possibly have. So I do want to do some kind of like big mining and enchanting session. So if you would like another one of these, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do one in another couple weeks. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Paige and Molly love you. Go rescue a dog.